Hi, my name is Sebastian Petroll from Petroll Reining Horses. Today I would like to talk about what we do with our body and how we position ourselves through all the maneuvers that we do on a reining horse. It's a little piece that I call reining equitation. To start out with, we have a neutral position with our body, meaning my upper body is straight, it's straight on the horse like that. I want my legs underneath me. I'm going to try to be relaxed with my upper body at all times, meaning any kind of shock that I get from doing maneuvers, I want to let them go through me instead of fighting them. So meaning the softer I am up here, the easier it is to deal with any kind of movement underneath you. I want my legs under me, so that's how I drive that horse forward. Another thing that's important for reining horses or for riding reining horses is that really from the seat up, everything is only for balance, meaning I'm not going to try to use my upper body or my seat to make this horse do anything. And I can see it a lot from people, especially with an English background. They will try to push their horses forward with their seat. We don't do that in the rein. And the same thing, another thing I see a lot is where people will start trying to lean a certain direction to make their horse go over that way. Like they'll be loping along and they're going to try to lean over here, trying to make that horse to go that way. In the reining, we can't really do that for several reasons. One of those is that when you perform maneuvers at a high rate of speed, it's very difficult to influence this horse from up here. Meaning I might need everything I got just to stay on that horse at that point in time. Another thing why I don't like when people use the upper body to cue a horse is because you can't enforce it. Meaning if I lean over here and at home, usually that horse goes that way. Well, now it's at the horse show and it doesn't go that way. How do I enforce it from here on out? Meaning I can't lean anymore because I'm going to fall off at one point in time. If I, for example, just guide this horse in my hand, I can pull my hand further and further till it finally goes over there. As far as another thing that I see a lot is we want to be straight, but we want to be comfortable and we want to be relaxed. Meaning if my body isn't relaxed, I can't have my horse relaxed because that horse is going to feel that I'm tight and tense and I'm watching over it. So I want to make sure that I keep relaxing myself, and every once in a while, and I have no work to do here, I'm going to try to look away and I'm going to try to open myself up to where I'm going. We all have a little bit of tendency to start riding like that because we look at the head all the time because we're working and we got things to do. But as I said, as a reminder, every once in a while we got to open up and we got to look ahead and see where we're going. When it comes to circling, a lot of people always ask, do I need to lean forward when I run my circles or do I need to sit back when I run my circles? And I don't think that there is a straight up answer for that. The reason why we sometimes lean forward on a horse is, for example, maybe the horse is lazier and it's easy to get up a little bit and drive him forward like that. Or maybe the horse is a little rougher. That would be another reason to get out of the saddle a little bit just to make it a little easier running. But then on some horses it is better to sit down, meaning if you have a horse that might drop a shoulder running circles, a lot of times if we sit back a little bit, it's a lot easier to keep that horse square. Horses that might have trouble falling out a lead behind, slowing down, it's a lot easier to be back here in a running position than slow that horse down from here instead of me being up here and then having all that way down to sit down and maybe lose control over the hind legs. So these are the reasons why sometimes we stand up in the stirrups and chase a horse and sometimes we'll sit back. I tell most people maybe start out from where you are the most comfortable. A lot of people are more comfortable in one position than the other. So I usually start out there and say, you know what, let's just try and see what you are more comfortable with. As far as the mental part of the horse, if we sit down or stand up running, I think they can make the difference. At home we do both a little bit on every horse, so they are pretty comfortable with us sitting down or standing up and running. So I don't think it makes a huge difference for the horse. In your small slows, it's important to go back to our neutral position that we just talked about and relax and sell it to that horse that we're going slow and we're quiet and we're just along for the ride. One thing about changing leads is that I'm going to try to be in my neutral position here, and then when I cue a horse, I'm going to try to be real clear on the cue. I want to try to have all my cues clear but not very harsh. So meaning when I do change, I'll make sure I'll sit in the center, I'll make contact with that horse, and I'm going to move my leg far back to change. There's overall 3 leg positions in this. There's our neutral position that we'll drive with and we'll go forward with. Then we have the, like I just said, the change position, or the position that I move the hip with, that would be further back. And then we have the stopping position that would be up here, that I push forward when I do stop. In the spins, it's important to stay square with your shoulders. A lot of people have the tendency trying to lean down into the spin like that. But truth is, the more we do up here, the more we handicap that horse. Meaning when I spin, I want to be in the center of that horse and I want to try to stay out of its way so it can do its job. Another thing that happens a lot is the turning motion will push us forward, so it's pretty important to just stay back with your upper body as you're spinning. So you can counter some of the motion pushing you forward, but that's what your upper body does. It'll come back just a little bit to keep you back in the saddle. When we stop these horses, and that might be the most difficult part for a lot of people to learn, because the stop only lasts for a second, so it's very hard to actually work on that maneuver while we're doing the maneuver. So it all starts with my rundown. As I'm doing my rundown, I'm going to have my upper body in stopping position, meaning I don't want to have to change my upper body to stop. Because if I do that, I'm going to tell that horse, hey, I'm going to stop in a minute, I'm going to get ready for it. And pretty quick, they'll figure that out and they'll slow themselves down right there. So, meaning when I start out, I'm going to bring my upper body in stopping position. I'm going to do my rundown. I'm going to drive with both of my legs down the pin. Now, as I want to stop, I'm going to say, whoa, push my feet out, and then I'm going to relax my upper body as that horse goes to the ground. So meaning we'll start out back here. The first thing I'm going to do is say whoa. I'll push my feet out all together, and then I'm going to relax my upper body to be able to deal with any kind of shock I'm going to get from that horse going to the ground. It's important to know that the only thing that keeps you from falling forward are your legs going forward, okay? In a car, it's different. If we hit the brake, you know, you have a forward motion that you have to deal with, but most of the time you have your steering wheel or a seat belt on that'll keep you back. Here there's none of this to hold on to or to do. So the real important thing is to have your legs out. That's what's going to keep you back. I generally don't like analyzing that part too much because it has a tendency to make us overthink the stopping part, which usually never works. So generally I'll tell people about, you know, get yourself ready right here before you ever lope off. We'll run down the pin. We're going to say whoa first, do our legs, and that's all we're going to think about. We don't have to overthink that part because it happens so fast. So the more we think, the more we handicap our result.
Smart Calm Ultra Pellets are a cost-effective way to provide calming support for anxious or spooky horses. This herb-free formula provides vitamins and minerals to maintain nervous system health and help keep your horse focused. It's our best-selling calming supplement with over 800 5-star reviews. Help yourself and your horse have less stress and more fun in the saddle by getting him started on Smart Calm Ultra Pellets today.